don't we have headphones for Joanne?
No.
So you can hear me though, all right, can't
I
you?
can hear you.
But you need to talk into the microphone.
Okay.
Yep. And there you go.
All right.
Okay.
You ready to go?
Yeah, I could hear her. Tell Ingrid that she'll come in at
7:30.
7:30. That'd be cool.
All right, it's rolling.
All right. This is called Politics is Anarchy, and like it's true all over. It takes more than one monkey to run this show. So what we have now is Joanne. What's your last name?
Chang.
Chang. Yeah, I should have known that, but I didn't. And also we have Michael. What's your last name?
Abraham.
Abraham. So this shows you how prepared we are. And anyhow, I think it's important to remember it takes more than one monkey to run this show, and Michael is going to have to leave at 6:30 because he's a very popular person, and so I thought we'd start out with Michael, and then each person, kind of like how Ken does his workshop thing, you know. After Michael does something, we'll make comments on it and give him good advice, and then we'll just play by ear, you know.
Sounds good.
And like Xavier said, just have fun, you know. I'm too old not to do that. You know, every day and every minute counts. So, because Michael has to leave first, if it's all right with you, Michael, I'll have you start out first with a song.
Sounds
then
good.
We'll content. I just met Michael last Sunday, and he's an extraordinary singer-songwriter. Just he moved me. He moved me to tears. So
Very kind man.
that's a true fact.
All right, well, I'll start out with this first song of mine. It's came up with it about a couple months ago, and one day I was just sitting around thinking about all the people that have influenced my life and have said, you know, one or two sentences that really stood out and have carried on with me throughout the years. So it's kind of untitled at the moment right now, but I'm sure with time it'll come up with a title. So let's go.
The title will find itself, man.
Yeah. I remember that late night you and me were driving down a lonely road. You told me everything about you. You told me why you left New York. I remember late night, my friend, you and I were standing in a dark stairwell. You and me were talking. I was getting ready to leave, but you grabbed my mind, told me that I am me. I remember that Thursday afternoon we were all standing around together, and you told everyone that you always looked up to me. I put these moments together on a string to form a halo around my head. I write these winter roses down to keep me warm in the snow. I remember that day so long ago. You and I were sitting down, and you held my fate in your hand in a square white piece of paper before you drop it to the future. You asked me, am I sure? I remember that time shortly after when you were sitting across from me, and I heard no words, only tears, but you told me everything I needed to know at that time. I put these moments together on a string to form a halo around my neck. I write these roses down to keep me warm in a winter storm. You and me, oh how I cannot forget all these times you have supported me. Thank you.
Extraordinary, Michael. Michael, I
Thanks,
love
Jim.
that. So, Joanne, what do you think?
I think you have a lovely sound. I can't always hear all the words, though. I don't know if it's because of the situation or simply the fact that my hearing is not as good as it used to be.
Partly due to the situation, I think.
Could well be. Did you say that the words were making a halo around your neck?
Yes. I kind of put these moments, just something to
Yeah.
always remind me of all these people and all the things. they
Might
said.
be more like a wreath because halos are usually around your head.
That is
But
true.
I don't know.
It's so big with all these thoughts and all these people that helped me throughout my life. It's
Yeah.
actually sunk down past my head around my neck.
That's cool. That's cool.
Thank you, Joanne. Now, I think, yeah, you're right. Halos are usually around your head, and because you put it around your neck, I think that that makes it more into a yoke, you know. And because some of the things I really loved about your song was you grabbed me by my mind, you held my fate in your hands, and also the tears told me all I needed to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are extraordinary. Because I want to be taken off, so I can picture a woman. One thing every human being has in common: we've all had our heart broken, and and that's how it is. And it's pain that just yeah, just
It's actually about a family member, actually. So not necessarily a broken heart in the common sense of a broken heart, yes. But
yeah.
but I
well,
understand what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
well, good. And that's how I choose to see. And it's interesting because somebody computered me that I hadn't talked to for we were like best friends from 15 to 25, maybe even 30. And you know how you are when you're young, how the bond is, and you see each other being dorks and all that kind of thing, and you see yourself grow out of it. And usually we've had a marriage by that time that's broken up and all that kind of thing. And the kind of things you share as a young man, it's really hard to find as an old man like me. And so anyhow, he brought up the woman I was with during those years, or most of the years, and he'd seen her at a hotel tending bar. And I just talked to him yesterday, and it just kept creeping around my heart and soul, and so much beauty, and so much sadness,
They go hand in hand.
Yeah, it does me. So, But I really love the idea of, you know, the tears told me everything I needed to know, and also the physical, grab me by the neck, hold my feet, you know, you know, it's not like you can tell this girl's not Bambi, you know, and that was especially moving to me, Michael.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad you did.
Okay, you got anything else, Joanne?
Well, I think you just about covered it, Jeb.
All right.
It's a beautiful song.
Thank you. Thank you.
It sure is. And because you have to go first. I was going to just have everybody just do one piece, you know?
Yeah.
But if you don't mind, Michael, I'd like you to do another piece. And because I'd love to have another piece and more feedback for you.
Okay.
And then hopefully you'll have time to hear at least one of Joanne's poems.
Okay. Sounds good.
Is that cool with you, Joanne?
Sure.
Good.
All right. This is one. I think Joanne's heard this before. I played at the open mic last night. This is a little bit different than the first one. This is kind of about a crazy man. So
it's kind of an autobiography, huh?
yeah, kind of.
Okay.
All right. Loud cymbals clashing, serenading the silence, invading the privacy of my soul. Can't stop them with the full life, like a beating heart that won't slow down or stop now. I sometimes ask you what you're thinking, just to make sure I'm still connected right inside. Oh. Wake up with that pain in my side, open my eyes with that emptiness, shut my soul down again and again, ask myself, oh, is this it? Is it over or is it over near? Sometimes want it so. Sometimes ask you what you're thinking, just to make sure I'm still connected right inside. Oh. Running through the streets of Spain, cobblestone in my head tonight, flash floods of horns and gravity death all around, racing home on top of Dove. Scared to tell you who says what inside my head. Just some people having a funky tea party. Come, please, oh, fly with me. Don't let me go alone. No, I cannot do this solo. I'm feeling heavy, light inside, falling slowly, landing fast. Sometimes ask you what you're thinking, just to make sure I'm still connected right inside. Oh. streets of Spain. Cobblestone in my head tonight. Flash floods of horns and gravity of death all around. Racing home on top of dawn.
Can I go first, Joanne?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Man, that moved me. And I tell you what, if that's about a crazy man, I tell you what, everybody, it's exactly my attitude. When I'm in love, I'm totally off the wall. And then being in Spain, running the cobblestones, and then trying to make sure you're connecting. And Jesus Christ, and it's just, and I could feel your passion, you know. And if you don't get crazy in love, you know, there ain't no hope for you.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I think. You know, I mean, that's what being in love's about. And I didn't feel you like you were crazy at all. I mean, that's how I am. Well, yeah, I'm crazy too then, you know. And I think every human being walking this world, if they got anything, any character about them, any kind of blood in their veins,
Yeah.
you know, has felt that, you know. And especially, am I connecting? Am I really hearing what I think I'm hearing, you know? And because we don't know. You know, nobody knows what's going on for real in another person. And I love the passion, especially how you played your guitar. That passion, you know. Yeah, that took me back to times that I've been in love, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you. It's you should be crazy in several situations to a safe degree, because otherwise you're not fully living that moment or whatever,
There you
that
go.
relationship or whatever time you're in.
Good.
You got to
Yes,
dive in deep.
We're simpatico.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really love that. That's my favorite, Michael. That's a great song.
Thank you. Thanks.
What'd you think, Joanne?
I think the tension in your music combined with the words is excellent. It just is, you get this driving push. And there's so much in the head, and the difficulty between connecting what's in your head with what's out there. It really comes across.
Exactly. That's exactly what I think too, Joanne. Going from head to heart. But really, I think it goes from heart to head. But it doesn't really matter because it's the heart that matters. You know, and he sure got that passion, doesn't he? Mm-hmm. You know? And, yeah.
But I feel the persona here in this song really wants to make a connection with the world. You know, the head is so full, it's like bursting
Yeah.
with all
Okay.
that stuff,
so many things going in and
running
out.
in Spain and carving stones and all this
Yeah.
other stuff. And you're just like really hyped up, but you really want to make a connection to the world, to the outside of your head,
Yeah.
the
yeah,
inside and the outside.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah. I mean, I think deep down inside everybody.
Good.
You know that famous quote, we're not islands, you know, everyone wants to be connected.
Yeah, I think so too. And I agree exactly with what you're saying, Joanne. And to me, back when I was young, and I'm old now, but they had student right fairs, and I was able to fly to Spain and back. I had to go up to Montreal, but you could, and you stay 3, 6, 8, however long. You can stay 3 or 4 months, whatever. And it cost like $270 for
Oh,
the
wow.
one-way ticket.
Wow.
And I did that, you know. And at Montreal, I met a young woman that was going to go to England because she was going to study in England, but she decided to take a couple months just hanging out in England, and she chose to go with me to Portugal and Spain.
Oh, wow.
And it was so lovely. And Spain is just such a. Now we went to Lisbon first and the Prado and stuff like that, but we ended up in Algeciras, and that's right across from Rock and Gibraltar. And Jesus Christ, talk about romance.
Yeah.
You go to any tavern, and they'd serve the local wine and bread. I mean, we lived on nothing,
Yeah.
you know, just sex, bread, and wine. Yeah, and it was beautiful. Oh, I tell you what, and I was crazy. But every 18-year-old man is, you know. And I'm still crazy now. Like Johnny Cash said, you know, I've always been crazy. It's kept me from going insane. No, that wasn't that. That was Hank Williams. No, it wasn't Hank Williams. It was Guy Clark. Yeah, nevertheless. So, I've always been crazy. But it kept me from going insane. And I learned it all in the Navy.
Huh.
So it was Waylon Jennings, really, now that I said it. But that's so cool. Yeah, do you have anything more you want to add to this, Mark?
I don't want to take up too much time or.
Well, it's not so much that,
Yeah.
Did we miss some things that you thought was important?
No, I think it was. You guys hit on all the notes. Added a lot of good extra ones too that I haven't thought of.
Good.
Definitely.
That's why we do this damn thing, you
Yeah.
know? And I want to, kind of like Ken's, workshop on Sundays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice. Good to hear everyone else's thoughts, and then.
Yeah. And I don't know if I told you all, but I just met Michael last Sunday. I was so impressed with it. So impressed. I wanted him to be on the debut. Poetry is Anarchy.
Yeah. Well, I've equally been impressed by everyone else. I've met at the open mic night with Joanne's beautiful voice and her innate ability to memorize these ridiculously long songs and poems that she's written, which capture great emotion. And then, I met Jeb last week for the first time as well, and you're passionate about your poems and how it relates to real life and history as well. Very impressive.
Oh, and I'm glad you brought this up, because this is something Xavier had to bring up to me, is we can't use the seven words you can't say on TV, and so we can't be extraordinarily vulgar stuff.
Yeah.
But joke them if they can't take a fuck. I love it. All right, Joanne, darling, will you share?
Yes, I will. I have a piece that relates to Milwaukee poetry history in a sort of way. Back in the old days when we had poetry slams at the Why Not 2, and we used to send teams to the Nationals from there, there was a man named Frank who would always come around with a big cooler, and he was selling pepperoni and cannoli. I don't know if you remember him.
Well, I'm not from here. I'm from America.
Yeah, you would. Well, anyway, he's an Italian guy, and he would be always walk around going, pepperoni, cannoli, pepperoni, cannoli.
That sounds so
But
cool.
he died last February, so it's kind of like a part of the old scene is gone. I wrote a poem that rather relates to this. It's very short, and it's called Water, Water Everywhere, Damn It, Where's the Beer? Lost in the far Sargasso Sea, mid waves of desolation, the sailor hath forgot his name, his age, and e'en his station. Visions of the past arise, memory burns and sears the bars of old Milwaukee, the beers, the beers, the beers. That sainted voice rings in his ears, paean strong and holy, Frank with his faithful cooler. Pepperoni, cannoli, pepperoni, cannoli.
That's
Very
so
nice.
good. What do you want to say about it? I know you got to leave at 6:30,
Yeah.
Michael, so
I like the. Can you read the last couple lines there? There's one that right before the pepperoni cannoli.
That sainted voice rings in his ears, paean strong and holy, Frank with his faithful cooler.
I like that.
Pepperoni, cannoli, pepperoni, cannoli.
I like how you kind of say it's holy. It's like it's like the common normal standard. To at least have beer in Milwaukee and things like that. So it's.
And see, I picture this guy too,
Oh yeah.
And cannoli is one of the most erotic foods there are. I mean, geez, cannoli is just so erotic. You can't eat cannoli and not think romantic thoughts. And then pepperoni, that's just like love too. I mean,
It's Italian.
yeah, but I mean,
Tasty.
but the whole different texture and taste of pepperoni and cannoli, that's great. And Joanne, and it also takes me back, because one of the cool things I've seen in Milwaukee are all the black signs and things like when I was young, and that's kind of what America was about, was blats, Falstaff, things like that. And yeah, and that's really good. And one of the things you do all the time is draw a word picture. It's like they tell us in Poetry 101, don't tell me, show me.
Yeah. Like you said, I could visualize it too, almost somebody right by the waterfront, just
Yeah.
white. I picture like a white outfit, I guess you threw the word sailor in there too, maybe that's why this guy's selling these things right by the water.
That's so cool, man. Yeah, and I really love that. That's a great poem. That's one of my favorites you've done. Yeah. So, yeah. Okay. Anyhow, yeah, we got another woman that's going to come, but Michael has to leave it early, so we're going to have her come and read too. So, anyhow, you got 5 more minutes. You can stay 5 more minutes, can't you?
Yeah,
Okay, cool. Okay, because, yeah. What else did you get out of Joanne's poem?
I mean, just like your ties to Milwaukee, definitely, and I can see you have a lot of passion and love for the city, which I can, I connect with. I've only been here for 3 years, but I feel that, same connection, over these 3 years to the city as well, so.
Yeah, I'm so glad you picked a neat character, somebody I can visualize, and I don't know, I'm from Kansas City, and Kansas City and Milwaukee are very similar, except for, of course, we have normal weather in Kansas City. But if you don't find friends in Milwaukee, or you don't find friends in Kansas City, you got to be a real jerk.
Yeah.
People in Milwaukee are just,
very easy to talk to.
Yeah, and they're by and large not too judgmental. So did great. Okay, can you do another one?
All right.
Ingrid, come and listen to this, and we're going to get your comment on it, like right after, if you don't mind, because Michael's going to leave in it's in a few minutes. So, but can you stay just to give a comment to Joanne?
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, this is called Memorial Day. There's beer and babies, brats and sweet corn roasting on the grill. A lady on Oakland Avenue plucks a bouquet of American flags from her walkway for fear of rain. There's a plague of crows in Flanders Field where the eyeless corpses sleep. There's cribbage on a picnic table under the lilac trees, the smack of croquet mallets on colored wooden balls, the scent of marijuana smoke sliding under the door of the upstairs bedroom. Damn it, Jack, give me your hand and duck down the ravine. Charlie's in the bushes up ahead. Gunfire blossoms brilliant, brightening into darkness. All trees bleed green. The soldier screams, drops the bleeding arm whose body has dissolved. There is a concert at 8, a reverent ceremony at the wall. The photographers are coming at 9 to photograph the oldest vet at the VA, George Washington Shaw, 105 years old, who has seen and survived more wars than we care to think about. There are telegrams from the War Office, folded American flags on coffins, white crosses at Arlington Cemetery, and too many goddamn memories. Just too many goddamn memories.
Wow.
Great.
And Michael, you can, because you got a lead, so you can be the first one to give your opinion and feelings about this poem.
Well, once again, I mean, you definitely create a great visualization of everything you're talking about. You showed us rather than let us listen. And on top of that, I like how you really connected in such a smooth way that, the kind of present day Memorial Day, how we remember it to, the people who, were remembering on this day and the times that they were, struggled and fought for this country, things like that. But also, you started out describing like almost like this last weekend, Memorial Day, where, I was out on the, by the lake enjoying all these scenery, things like that. And then I like how you said it, everything bleeds green. It's beautiful, beautiful words.
Yeah, I think that too. Do you have any response to Michael, Joanne?
Well, I'm happy that you are really getting this.
Yeah. Yeah, because one of the things I always loved about you, I've heard you read a lot, is you know, you can do the texture of the poem in the same way he uses music. Michael uses music and the force of the guitar. You use your voice, and it's and one of the things I also like is you're singing a cappella and stuff. So, but yeah, you know, it's you know, very expressive. You know, and did you get to hear any of this, Gretchen or Ingrid? I'm sorry.
Yeah, this one's really nice. How long have you been doing?
Can you push that just a little bit over to Gretchen?
How long you been
or,
doing
or
poetry?
Michael's. Use Michael's. Yeah.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Well, actually, I've been writing songs since 1975, but I only really got into poetry when I moved to Milwaukee
Wow. And how long?
in '92.
Oh, nice. I think the inflection in your voice was really, really nice.
Thanks.
Uh-huh. What else did you get? Anything special?
Actually, the message, she was so descriptive. It made you feel like you were actually walking.
Could
down
you
the
see
street.
that 105-year-old veteran?
Oh yeah, sitting
See
there.
that was so great. You know, because
That's
usually
true.
usually they have.
He was.
You know, that's so good because, you know, usually we see Veteran Days and fat old veterans just saying. Just things without rhyme or reason, just kind of regurgitated patriotic things. But I see this old boy, and the fact you said that he, has seen thousands of wars, because we all have wars, you know, not just wars in the military way, but wars. I mean, there's wars on our streets, and especially where I lived, and all my life. And but that's the old boy. I just love him. I mean, wouldn't you want to meet him someday? I mean, wouldn't you want to see him?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
You can't
anymore.
anymore.
We've got a lot to say tonight
was
and
a
on
real
Sunday
guy.
nights at open mic night.
Yeah. Yeah, that is so great. Okay. All right. Well, Michael, once again, I'm so glad that I asked you. I'm really glad you came.
I feel very honored. I really appreciate the invite. I had a great time here. It's great.
Yeah, well,
Definitely.
you know, whoever was lucky enough to listen.
Yeah. I told all my family and friends, so hopefully they're listening.
All right. Well, they got to be.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So,
All right. Well, you guys enjoy the rest of the half hour. Joanne, I hope you sing a song for everyone. They got to hear the singing. So, all right. You guys take care. Thank
you
you.
too. Thank you, Michael. Okay, you got to move your thing when you want to comment on anything. We're all going to do like two things right at first, you know, and then we'll go around and do, you know, and it's very, what? You're just going to read one poem?
Yes.
Okay. You think I'll like you still?
You'll love me after this.
Okay. Well, let Joanne. Joanne's already done two, so Ingrid, if you don't mind, you'll do yours. And Michael, before you leave, I want you to remember, it takes more than one monkey to run this show.
I like it. This monkey's out right now.
Yeah. I love it.
Bye.
Yeah. Do it to it.
All right. Youth of today, souls filled with sorrow and gray, yearning to learn more than popping bottles. And how stern are we to them, not allowing freedom of self and mind. Give us all a chance to live our lives without regret. Facing this reality is a challenge for us all.
Wow. What do you think, Joanne?
I think that's a powerful message.
Yep.
Somehow, young people, they have to learn things for themselves. You can't impose everything on them from the top.
Right, exactly.
There you go. Exactly. I was just talking to Steve, one of the old boys here in River West, by my age, and he said, you know, we were laughing about how we were, and then when we started raising our children, turn down that music. Yeah,
Right?
and everybody's parents said that to them. Yeah, And then I heard myself saying that. It was so weird, you know?
You turned into your parents.
Yeah. And, yeah. But, you know, and also they say experience is the best teacher.
Right.
Ingrid, I disagree. I think it's the only teacher.
That's true.
That's what I think. Yeah. We could still hang out.
Sure.
And,
I'll be more than happy to listen.
well, don't you have other poems in there that you didn't
Nope,
bring?
I sure didn't.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, just so you know, I met
Who wants to
Ingrid.
get in my diary?
Yeah, I met Ingrid. I met Ingrid about 25 minutes ago, and she just wrote that poem. So maybe 30 minutes.
Right.
Yeah. The girl's a genius.
I am. I'm also a local artist.
Are you?
Yes, I do photography and I paint.
Beautiful.
And I'm actually going to be in my first gallery exhibit June 22nd at the Dominion Gallery.
All right.
Where's that? I don't know where that is.
Oh, it's 804 East Wright Street.
Okay, that's lovely. 804. Okay, gentlemen and ladies, 804 East Wright Street, and you'll get to see Ingrid. What's your last name, darling?
Ingrid Avon.
Say it again.
Ingrid Avon.
What a lovely name, because I told you how much I loved Ingrid. Ingrid Avon. Oh, geez.
That's right.
If that don't make your heart skip a beat, I don't know.
You're not living then.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's
Thank you.
beautiful. Beautiful.
It is.
Okay, let's hear more from you. I enjoyed your art.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'm going to do a song that's called Sunrise. And I don't play any instruments, which is why I sing a cappella.
Okay.
I am taking a train of thought to another land. I'll be sending you a postcard from a foreign strand saying, wishing you were here with me this bright sunshiny day. Even though you live so far away, I am sailing the high seas on a ship of dreams, looking for a country that's as lovely as it seems. I am sending you some roses from my garden fair. Doesn't matter where I go, I'm wishing you were there. And I'm flying so high, haven't touched the ground in years. Can't see the journey's end for the laughter and the tears. I am sending you my vain regrets and my last goodbyes. Just looking to see the sunrise in your eyes. I'm just looking to see the sunrise in your eyes.
Wow.
Very nice.
Bring tears in my eyes. What'd you
Right?
think? What'd you think, Ingrid?
She speaks from her soul. It's really,
Yeah.
really nice. I love that. God bless
Thank you.
Anything special about that?
I think that she should do this for the rest of her life.
Good. Good. And one of the things I really love, and I've heard Joanne for a long time, and this is, I always get a joy when you sing a cappella. And it's just it's so lovely to hear, darling, And, and it's such a special skill.
Definitely.
Yeah. So what did you feel best about when you wrote that song? Or when you sing that song? because I know you got to agree, Ingrid, that you can feel her. Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah.
Well, it's just a very personal song that just relates to me and how I feel.
Hmm.
Good for you.
It just, yeah. I mean, everybody talks about being authentic and stuff, Ingrid, and all that kind of thing. But you're the real deal, darling. Yeah. And I mean, that is, that goes right to you. I mean, at least it pierced me to the heart,
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you got anything else to say, Joanne?
Well, not about the song.
Okay. Joanne, I've heard you and Michael before, so I kind of knew what to hear. Mm-hmm. But I'd like Ingrid to recite her poem again.
Okay.
And,
Sure.
because I'm not really prepared. This is the first time like I said, I met the young woman, maybe 45 minutes ago. And it's
And it's been lovely ever since.
my life won't be the
Roses and rainbows and butterflies.
and lions and tigers and bears. Oh,
Oh
no.
my.
Okay, where am I? Youth of today, souls filled with sorrow and gray, yearning to learn more than popping bottles. And how stern are we to them, not allowing freedom of self and mind. Give us all a chance to live our lives without regret. Facing this reality is a challenge for us all.
Geez, that's so beautiful, especially the gray, and most old folks look back at teenage stuff and think that kids weren't feeling anything. It was puppy love. They dismiss the
feelings.
The
Right.
feelings and even the thoughts of young people. And one of the nice things about living in River West, I'm real old. I'm 58 years old. But I get to talk to a lot of young people that are just emerging and opening up my eyes all the time.
Right.
And you did, and
Because a lot of the youth feel like they don't have a voice. So that's why I chose to speak on them today.
good. And it's the fact of the matter is, a man, me, just Jeb Platt, has more in common with an 80-year-old black man than a 20-year-old white girl,
Wow.
because our history is so much more alike, And so every time I talk to a young person, my eyes are open with wonder,
Right.
And I'm really lucky because my sons are really bright. And from the time they were real young, they'd open my eyes to different things.
Right.
And, and neither their mothers or I ever restricted their exploration of literature, whatever they want to do, And
You'd be
and-
surprised how many people are control freaks with their children. They
Yeah.
don't even allow them to be themselves. So then that's when they act out, and people wonder why. So
That's right, and all I ask is that I'll let you be you, and you let me be me. Yeah,
exactly.
that is so good, Ingrid.
Thank you.
And I like short poems like that, and that put me back and educate me, open my eyes again. Because like Bob Dylan said, he who's not busy being born is busy dying. And also they said, also he said something too, is that forever young, may you stay forever young. I mean, that's romantic as can be to me,
Right.
Yeah. And I just saw the young woman that does the next show, the singer-songwriter show. So
Hi, Julie.
Okay.
Hi.
And it's an extraordinary show. I mean, I've heard it and it just knocks me out. Okay, we got 15 more minutes, so I'll read a poem or two, and tune into the same. Don't leave. I want you.
Oh,
Oh no, she didn't get on until 8.
okay.
But I just want to encourage everybody to stay listening because
Okay.
it's so impressive, her radio show. And in fact, that's why I asked for this time slot because, the high quality of, I didn't even know her. Your name is Julie, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't even know her name, but I've heard her show lots of times, and you'll be in for,
The heart of Milwaukee.
yeah. But it's a blessing to hear, it's a blessing to hear. So, is that all right with you if I read a couple poems?
Yeah, go for it.
Go.
Okay. And,
With her voice, I would love to hear her read a story.
I
Back
would-
in the day, you would call one of those phone numbers and hear a story being read. Right here.
yeah, and I'd love it, like back when, like people don't do it now, but my grandmother and grandfather, my grandfather retired from the service, and he built his own log house. I mean, did the plumbing, electricity, and all that kind of thing. Really talented, old country boy, and he knew how to do things,
Right.
even though he'd never built a house before. But my grandmother, one of the most extraordinary things about her, she could tell a story that would just spellbind you, and
Yes.
and that's what we don't do anymore. So, okay. Okay, this is called Power of 13. And so anyhow, Power of 13. Bike boys bossing Desolation Row grown-ups, desperate 20 rock star, sick at heart, another sacred heart, over and over.
Rental is 370 and then
Yeah, over and over. And one of the horrible things is that, not making mistakes, but it's making the same damn mistake again and again and again. So, at least that's my history. So, anybody want to tune in? And Julie, you can tune in too, because you're listening. Is that okay with everybody?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's, I've heard her. She's a smart woman.
We'll keep her.
Yeah, and I tell you what, I've never heard anybody dumb here. Xavier's place always attracts real bright people.
That's right.
Okay? Well, anyhow, anybody wants to say something about that poem? Say it.
I think you make your point very strongly with just the right amount of words to drive it home.
Right.
Good.
Let's hear
Thank
another
you.
one then. That was good.
Yeah.
It's Power of 13. These bike boys are 13. And in Florida, mostly the crack dealers around here drive cars. But in Florida, because the police are around all the time, everybody has the people that sell the dope are 13-year-old boys on bikes.
Wow.
Because they're not gonna, if they take a fall, they're not gonna, it's not gonna be no big deal. And they're making between $1,000, $2,000 a week. So that's big money for a 13-year-old kid. It's big money for a 58-year-old man.
Oh, yeah.
So, and then we expect them to go out and get jobs at McDonald's. Come on, get real. So what else y'all think?
Why 13? Is that their age?
Yeah, that's the age. That's about the average age at the bike boys.
Wow.
Some are 11, some are 15, but it's always in that range. Yeah. And they totally abuse these crackheads that are, grown-ups, and just humiliate them. And as a recovering addict myself, the fact of the matter is, I would, if the dope man said stand in the corner and put a thumb up my ass, I'd do that to get dope. But, anybody who knows me, I'm real prideful, real vain, extraordinarily so. And nobody else could tell me that. I mean, police, courts, parents, parole officers, all those kind of people, blow them off in a minute. But if you got dope, I'll do what you say. And those kids just abuse them, and we allow ourselves to be abused.
That's true.
What do you think, Joanne?
I think that It's a very compelling situation to be a slave to the habit.
It is, darling. It is. And I didn't start shooting dope until I was 17. And I shot until I was 33. But I was drunk or high from the age 13 to 33. So, every day. So, so I can relate when I see these people buying 20-cent pieces from boys. It's a sad thing to see, and I live in the projects, so I see these guys. And this is one of my favorite poems, and called "Love, Free Love Revised." How can love be anything but free? Emma Goldman, a century ago. 69 Altamont. Always Charlie Manson and his agents, Angel stabbing his wife of Polanski, leaves the nation. Always Charlie Manson, sex with 13-year-old. Polanski leaves the nation, mother bought and paid for. Sex tea with a 13-year-old, virgin colts by all accounts. Where I live, 20-cent piece, any age, sex of every kind. Somewhere, somehow, back there. No, it was 68. Acid, free love. If you go to San Francisco, wear flowers in your hair.
That's a heavy contrast
Yeah.
between the Charles Manson thing.
San Francisco, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the free love or whatever that means. It makes you wonder, are they talking about love or something else, eh?
That's true.
I don't know. And Emma Goldman was an anarchist. You notice the name of this is Poetry is Anarchy. Mm-hmm. And she was an anarchist back in, even before I was born, like back in the 1910 to 1930. And she really did live free love, She lived with this man that, a doctor in Chicago, And Emma didn't really do a lot of free loving, but Lord knows that man did. The doctor did.
Mm.
Oh, yeah.
But at least did, yeah. And Emma Goldman is such a picture. At UWM, an artist made a lithograph, and she's a big woman, round face, big glasses. And by what would that be considered real attractive? It's real attractive because they're bearing her intelligence, And everybody knows the sexiest part of any woman
Is her brain.
is between her ears. Exactly. You know that. A lot of people don't understand that. They still fall at 50 years old. They still fall for blow up doll girls with blonde hair. Jesus Christ! What a shame.
Well, we all know that,
Yeah,
all,
you women.
all the women are great.
No. There's some dumb broads,
Well, yes.
Yeah. So.
Well, they're not here right now, so please
They're not
leave a
here.
message.
Yeah, they're not here. Lord knows none of the women are here. But it's such a shame. I think it's just such a shame to see a middle-aged guy go through the middle-aged thing by themselves, a Corvette, when they look silly as hell with a comb over and their hair blowing. And Jesus.
It sounds like you're describing Donald Trump.
That's a great thing. And you notice how he always has these really beautiful on the surface women, but they're dumb as doornails. I'm guessing, I don't know, maybe not, but yeah, that's my feeling. Even when I was a little boy, reading my father's Playboys, the girls on the Playboys were not attractive. So.
To each his own, right?
Yeah, well, I think you're denying yourself if you have to do anything else. So we close in 5 minutes, and I'd like, yeah, I'd really like to hear Ingrid, what you say, what you think got out of this, and what's important to you, and then you, for sure, Joanne, and then I'll mention something, and we'll leave them wanting more. That's what P.D. Morgan said. Always leave them wanting more. So, whoever wants to go first, ladies.
You can go first.
Well, I think we've learned a lot today about love, about youth, about all kinds of things. We're just going to have to take it home and digest the whole thing.
That's true.
Yeah, and your pepperoni and what was that? The sensual thing that Italians make. Pepperoni and the
Cannoli.
cannoli. Yeah.
Pepperoni cannoli.
Yeah, I bet you that's how he sounded, didn't he? Something like that,
Yeah,
right?
that was Frank.
Yeah, that's Frank.
Oh, you know this guy?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Well, you all must be really Milwaukee people.
Well, he was a famous guy.
Yeah. Well, you said that good.
I just pictured him on Brady Street with the cooler right there.
Beautiful. Okay. So what else you get, Joanne?
Well, I'm not sure you can really say at this point what you got, because some of what you got always comes out later.
That's true.
It sure does. I'll be thinking about this, and at least 10 or 15 things will come to my mind that just take me on, and I just get to keep playing with them. You know?
Right.
Yeah, and that's lovely.
Well, thanks
And
for
that's
sharing your poetry. It really was deep and
Yes.
expressive and showing your personal struggles and the
Thank
light
you.
at the end of that.
Yeah, see what Xavier did was he said we can't say the 7 words you can't say on TV, you know, and that really limited my choices. Joanne, you know how my poetry is. No, it's pretty brutal, pretty vulgar, pretty brutal. I don't think vulgar,
No.
brutal. So normally, so. And I really got. Yeah, you didn't get to hear him. Maybe you did back there, but Michael, geez, what a.
Oh, I heard him singing. He was awesome.
Wasn't he?
Definitely.
You know, I really like that man. So, just think, Ingrid, you and Michael, I've known, less than a week. You know, Michael I met a week ago. Joanne I've known for however long I've been going to Linneman's Mondays with Poets, so that's been a while. And if you want to hear a good show, go to Linneman's on Halloween. That's Joanne's night.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it sure is. It sure is. I don't think, you know, and it's just extraordinary because you can see the word picture she sings. Yeah. Yeah.
Very nice.
Do you want to come back next week and read a couple more of your poems?
Sure, I would love that.
Okay. Do you think that's a good idea, Joanne?
Sure.
I think it's great.
Okay.
Because, anyhow, it's 1 minute to go. And just remember, it takes more than one monkey to run this show. See you, listeners.
Okay, bye.
Adios.
Okay, tell Xavier. You know how to turn this off, Julie? Okay. I know you're real smart, and I love this.